welcome back to SportsZone. This is our NBA segment, Throwing It Up. I'm joined here by Justin. So we've been gone for about a month, and there's been a lot of basketball storylines as we've been away. The biggest, obviously, being the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have been struggling for form right now. They've been losing games, playing badly on the defensive end, but some still consider them the favorites in this Eastern Conference. So, Justin, with all that's happened, do you still consider the Cavs the favorites to go to the finals again?
Yes, but only because of LeBron James, because it's hard to beat LeBron, at least in this Eastern Conference, 4 out of 7 times, and with Gordon Hayward being out for the Celtics and they really can't score when Kyrie's out. That's the only reason. You put Gordon Hayward or they make a big trade, I give them an edge, but LeBron James looking the way he does now, I give Cleveland the best shot.
Yeah, obviously when you have the best basketball player in the world and possibly ever, you're always going to have a chance to make the finals. But you touched on the Boston Celtics right there. First in the East, who are playing great basketball, especially on the defensive end. We thought that they would have no chance of making it to the finals with Gordon Hayward out for the rest of the year, but they've seemed to recover from that. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum playing great basketball. So, Justin, even if they don't make the finals this year, what do you see the future for the Boston Celtics?
Oh, it's bright. It's extremely bright, and it's really unfortunate that Hayward, is out for the year, because if he was playing out, they would easily be my pick to come out of the East, because he's that second scorer Kyrie and this team needs. Unfortunately, he's out. People say he might come back. I doubt it. But moving forward, this might be the team that dethrones the Warriors because of all the talent. They still have all those picks. Don't know what's going to happen with New Orleans with Boogie, but this Celtics team is deep. Jaylen Brown looks like he's going to be a defensive monster. You still got Kyrie, and then Jason Tatum looks like a perennial all-star. He's 19, but playing like he's 25. It's going to be really crazy to see how he develops moving forward because he might be the best player on that team in like 2 or 3 years, depending upon how everything turns out.
Yeah, a lot of good points there. Obviously, the Boston Celtics, with all those future picks coming up and all this young talent, they have a great future for the Boston Celtics. Remains to be seen whether they will make the NBA Finals this season. But you touched on it right there. DeMarcus Cousins, who went out with an injury a few days ago, a guy who had been playing great basketball. The Pelicans have been playing the best basketball since they made the trade for DeMarcus Cousins. So, Justin, DeMarcus Cousins, he's never played in the playoffs. This looked like the year that he would. Can the Pelicans recover without DeMarcus Cousins?
They have Anthony Davis, so there's hope they can, because he's one of the top 5 players in the game. But I don't see it. They didn't have enough depth with him. And the reason they were thriving is because Anthony Davis and DeMarcus were playing so many minutes. They were able to, they finally got it together. They finally figured out, who's going where. Boogie was more of the, the 0.5. Anthony Davis was getting a shot and playing, the defensive rim. This team just doesn't have enough depth. They have 4 players outside of Boogie that were already given. They were granted disabled player money for, and then Solomon Hill, who's one of their prize acquisitions, was still out. They have very little trade assets, so they have a chance because of Anthony Davis. I just don't see it, and it's really unfortunate because Boogie was playing so good, and he got hurt in the last minute of the game, which really sucks.
Yeah, obviously all NBA fans feel bad for DeMarcus Cousins, who have been playing great basketball alongside Anthony Davis. Those two look like a pair that was just unstoppable this past month, but it's definitely difficult to see DeMarcus Cousins go down. But DeMarcus Cousins, who was an all-star starter in this new sort of all-star format that the NBA introduced this season, 24 players make it. It's not Eastern Conference and Western Conference anymore. It's Team LeBron and it's Team Steph. But Justin, looking at these 24 players, are there any players who didn't make it that you believe could have replaced one of the players who did?
Paul George, I thought should have been on the list. 20 points a game, averaging 2.5 steals. Probably going to be out there for Defensive Player of the Year, the way Oklahoma's defense has transformed with him being there, along with Robinson, who unfortunately got hurt the other day. He's really my only Western Conference stuff. I know people have said Lou Williams. I just don't think the record was good enough when you compare it to like a Paul George's record of team success. And then for the Eastern side, I get where Al Horford got in. You know, best record in the Eastern Conference. You usually get a couple All-Stars, and he's played great. It's just like when you look at Detroit and how they fared better than expectations. You know, they started off hot, but Reggie Jackson got hurt. Stanley Johnson's been in and out, still can't really shoot at all. And Drummond has went from a guy who can't hit anything at the free throw line to a respectable free throw shooter. He's also a leading assist man for centers, where that category used to go to the Gasol brothers. Now he's averaging 4 or 5 assists a game, making plays. He had a 20-25 game, which has never been done before outside of Will Chamberlain. So I feel like he deserved it over Al Horford, but I kind of see where the Al Horford got in there with the record.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of good points there. I definitely think that the 24 players selected were the best 24, maybe a couple players who could have gotten in, but I think it was a good selection nonetheless. But a big talking point was the All-Star format. The draft happened behind closed doors. A lot of fans were upset that it wasn't televised. So,
yeah.
Justin, were you upset as a fan that this draft was not televised?
Absolutely. I got the teams that I wanted, where I got Russ and KD with LeBron, and I got Kyrie with LeBron. I would have loved to see Kyrie's face if LeBron picked him. I would have loved to see it, because LeBron has no ill will towards Kyrie, but clearly Kyrie does not like this man. So it would have been funny to see on national television them actually do it. And I was reading somewhere like hockey did this like 10 years ago, where the last pick got a car. I mean, if it hurts your ego so much that you're the last pick, here's a car. Yeah. You know, you grown men making hundreds of millions of dollars, and you're an all-star. You're one of the 24 best players in the game. Is it really that big of a deal? I mean, like, and say, for example, like Isaiah was picked. He was the 60th pick in the draft. I don't know. It should have been televised. I was really upset.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It would have been great to see it televised, especially that moment where LeBron drafted Kyrie, but he really couldn't afford not to draft him, obviously, with the other point guard, Steph, being on the other team. But it would have been interesting if he didn't, but nonetheless he did. But
would have been funny.
Would have been. But that's all we have for Throwing It Up, and more SportsZone after this.